Question 7 is a trigonometry based question that doesn't have a diagram, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take that information and I'm going to add it to my own diagram. Triangle ABC, not drawn accurately, looks like this, where AB is the length 10 and AC has a length 5, and B to A to C is the angle theta. And I'm also told that the area of this triangle is 15. The first part of this question wants me to work out the two possible values for theta. I've been given the area for a reason. It's because I want to use the sine rule for area, which talks about two sides and the angle in between. So it's a half of the two sides, 5 times 10, times sine of the angle in between those two sides. And I know that that's going to be equal to 15. That gives me 25 sine theta is equal to 15, or sine theta is equal to 3/5 if I simplify that. Now I want the value of cosine theta, so now I'm going to use the idea that cosine squared theta plus sine squared theta equals 1, to then go about saying that I have cosine squared theta plus 3/5 squared equal to 1, or cosine squared theta is equal to 1 minus 9/25, which is 16/25. So square rooting that, cosine of theta is going to be equal to either plus or minus 4/5. Now that's the final answer here. I want the two values of cos theta. I don't want to work out the values of theta, I want the values of cos theta. So I leave my answer like this. I don't go onto a calculator to find the angle theta at this point. And that's the first part of this question complete. The second part, I'm told that BC is the longest side of this triangle and I'm to find its exact length. So for part B, I'm now going to find the length of the side, so I want to use the cosine rule, which is going to say that x squared is equal to 10 squared plus 5 squared minus 2 times 10 times 5 cosine of the angle in between. I've got two possible values for cosine, one positive 4/5 and one negative 4/5. So I'm going to start off with evaluating the first part, which is going to be 125 minus, this is going to evaluate to give me 100 cosine of theta. Now in the case where cosine of theta is equal to 4/5, this would become x squared is equal to 125 minus 80, which is 45. So x squared is 45, so x in this case would be the square root of 45. Now, although I don't know the square root of 45 exactly, I know it's going to be larger than 6 and slightly smaller than 7, which can't be the case because in this question I'm told that BC is the longest side of the triangle. So if this was somewhere between 6 and 7, it would be smaller than 10, making it not the longest side in the triangle. So I know that this here is not the correct answer for this question. And that came about because I chose cosine theta to be 4/5. So let's this time choose cosine theta to be negative 4/5, because that's then going to tell me that x squared is going to be 125 plus 80, which is x squared is equal to 205, or x is equal to the square root of 205. Again, just popping back to the question, I want the exact length of BC, so I leave my answer as a surd, and popping that into my calculator tells me nothing else. I'm just going to leave my answer as x is equal to the square root of 205.